you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the freak. And number 50, the general lead. Cowboys no need to flex.
Hello, hello.
We the five-time Super Bowl champs. We got rings that go bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blue book. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the freak. And number 50, the general lead. Cowboys no need to flex. Like Des Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget. Jason Witten and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world. Y'all know Jerry Jones.
I need to know, man. Real quick. Where did this come from?
Scouting, man. How are you enjoying your rookie OTL first Cowboys scouting, man? How do you feel about continuing that legacy of
We the
Dallas Cowboys
five-time Super Bowl
West Coast
champs.
Cowboys and
We
Dallas
got
Cowboys
rings that go
scouts?
bling, go blam. Watching your team is like watching no blue book. We about to take you back to the future. Number 21, Zeke the freak. And number 50, the general lead. Cowboys no need to flex. Like Des Bryant, I'm throwing up the X. If you a true Dallas fan, don't forget. Jason Witten and the trip bets. This is one team that can't get cloned. This is Jerry's world.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man. I'm busting up in here in your Friday, man, saying what's up to you guys. I know we don't usually have shows on Friday, but I got invited by OG Mark Holmes over there on YouTube to be a guest on his show today. So I said, man, instead of me doing a whole bunch of back alley recording and a whole bunch of other stuff, why don't I just find a creative way to try to get the show online at the same time? And looks like we were able to do that. So, man, shout out to technology. I'll be calling in his show in a little bit, man. But we're going to have a great show with OG Mark Holmes over there on YouTube. Make sure you guys, or if you're on YouTube right now, because I know people on Dallas Cowboys Scouting are watching, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. On the show, I know we're going to be talking about Dak-friendly offenses. You guys already, and Dak-friendly offenses, and basically the evolution of one Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? You guys already know how I feel about Dak Prescott as a player, as a person, as a human being. So, you know, I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation. I also got rumors that one Mr. Law Nation is going to be popping his head up in here too. So, man, it's going to be a really good show, so make sure you guys stay tuned. If you're not doing anything, if you're in the bathroom chilling, if you're at work chilling, if you're at home not doing nothing chilling, hey, put us on. Let's talk some Cowboys. Let's listen to some Cowboys for a little bit. My boy, Boss Cowboy, he is at work. You know, we both business owners, so, when you own a business, somebody lied to us because they said when you own your business, you get to work less. No, when you own a business, you always be at work. So, my boy Boss Cowboy, he got them beautiful sons, so he's always working to make sure he take care of them. So my buddy is working. But he was on here. We were on here a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? But what up with you, Daniel? What up with you, New Way Plumbing? What up with you, Big Sam? What up with you, Chris? What up with you, Scout Luna? What up with you, Buddha? How you doing today? What up with you, Eric? What up with you, Rich, Austin, Isaac, Steven, Bernard, Keith, Kurt? What up with you, Scout Curtis? Hey, yo. What's up with y'all? How y'all feeling today, man? I got 22 shares, man. Can we get up to about 100 shares today? Chris says, good evening, West Coast. Go Cowboys. F the rest from Portage, Michigan. I heard that. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all something about the Michigan. You know Michigan is one of those teams that Ezekiel Elliott does not lose to. Like, that's amazing, right? Like, there's two teams that Ezekiel Elliott does not lose to. There's two teams. Get him a scooter. There's two teams that Ezekiel Elliott does not lose to. And those two teams are the Philadelphia Eagles and the Michigan Wolverines. We got to put that on a t-shirt or something. You know what I'm saying? What up with you, Auntie? Auntie, I'm about to be going live here with OG Mark Holmes and also with One Law Nation here in a little bit. So what's up with you, Deshaun? What's up with you, Nathan? What up with you, Adam? Yo, I put a video out today, and make sure you guys go watch that. Get yourself some knowledge. I put a video up today. It was basically talking about like PFF, which is pro football focus, and basically what they claim to do is they claim to be able to rate every position, every player, in every single game. And for whatever reason, every time they rate my boy Ezekiel, man, much of 2-1, man. Every time they rate Ezekiel Elliott, he's always in like rank 30th or in this next ranking that they did where they took the top 25 players under 25, and Ezekiel Elliott at the ripe age of 24 did not even make the list. Now, in my opinion, it's hard for you to find 24 people, regardless of their age, who I believe are better than Ezekiel Elliott. So for them to actually find 25 people who are under the age of 25 who they felt are better than Ezekiel Elliott is just absolutely preposterous. And the fact that they had guys like Kareem Hunt on there, if you don't slap yourself, dude played 11 games last year, and he's gonna be suspended for 8 games next year. And like, come on, man. Like, I didn't want to really go into the argument because I didn't want to diminish I'm not the type of person that feels like I have to diminish someone else's greatness to make Zeke feel better. Zeke is better than them dudes, just hands down. And the fact that they were able to find these guys, and they were able to find, like I said, 25 guys that they felt were were better football players than Ezekiel Elliott is just ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? I think it probably takes more work to find 25 players that are better than it does to actually just say that Ezekiel Elliott is one of the top 5 best players in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like I always say, they got bills to pay. They got mouths to feed. So, they know Cowboys stuff. We will click on it. But, yo, if you see that PFF stuff running around there, man, switch that stuff off, man. Don't pay attention to that stuff, man. There's enough reputable people online. There's enough reputable sources online for us to get some real educated information like Dallas Cowboy Scouting, Boss Cowboy Sports, Cowboy Joe Boo, Law Nation, Big Game James. It's enough guys out here that are not getting paid and just putting their blood, sweat, and tears to give you guys information. So don't waste your time with bums like PFF. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not being rude because y'all remember Antoine Woods. In the words of Antoine Woods, he said, PFF, you guys are some bums. That's exactly what Antoine Woods said, Big 99. So if it's good enough for my hot boy, it's good enough for me. You dig? All right, let's go. Scott says PFS is a joke when it comes to Zeke. It absolutely is, man. Like, the disrespect is ridiculous, man. Like, the disrespect is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you have to, and I love it when people try to say, oh, well, Le'Veon Bell. How can you say a guy who led the NFL in rushing last year, the last year that we just played, is not better than a guy who hadn't played since a year before last? Like, that's what I be saying, man. That's that cowboy hate, man. But you know what? Like I said, they got to pay bills. And I got to pay some bills, too. So let me shout out some folks on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, y'all been holding me down, man. What up with you? I got 5 people over there. That's what's up. Weston, hey, Weston, did you get that? Did you hit a subscribe on there? He said, PFS has always been some bums. You absolutely right. Absolutely right. Hey, I need everybody to do me a favor because you guys know in less than 60 days, training camp will be here in Oxnard, California. And you guys already know what it is. Y'all know that nobody covers training camp better than West Coast, man. I was born in training camp. Literally, that's where most of y'all probably found me, is at training camp, on a training camp video. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? A lot of that content, almost 90% of that content is going to be put on YouTube. So I need everybody right now, even if you got an Apple phone, you got a YouTube, I need you to go to YouTube right now and hit that subscribe button. So when when I start doing my interviews, because you already know I did 37 interviews last training camp. When I start doing my interviews and things like that, boy, you'll have first and not none one access to it. I'll make sure y'all get to it. Hey, shout out to my scouts in there. I got some scouts up in here, man. What's up with you, Mike Luna? I got my auntie up in here. Hey, when I'm my auntie up in here, man, we can't say people suck and bad stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to say they're physically inclined. What up with you, D Money, the host? What up with you, man? If you ever in DC and you looking for a good time, I'm gonna tell you right now, my boy D Money. D Money, I know you gotta be single. No offense, I know you gotta be single for as many parties as you be throwing. But I'm gonna just tell you right now, if you ever in the Washington D.C. area and you're looking for a good place, that guy right there, D Money, the host, that's the dude right there. And if you ain't single, you got a good woman, bro. Cause ain't no woman gonna put up with as much partying you do, bro. Nathaniel, what up with your main? Hey, I just dropped y'all stuff in the mail. Rocky, I dropped y'all. I got you. Hey, got some exclusive stuff for the scouts, man. All my scouts. When y'all get y'all gifts in the mail, please just send me a picture of it. Let me know you got it, and I'm gonna do something real nice to it. You know what I'm saying? Put it up, but I sent all my scouts these, man. So shout out to everybody that support Dallas Cowboys scouting, man. I do my monthly raffles for y'all, but I want to make sure everybody feels like a winner, man. So I sent these out to all the scouts. That's the serious Cowboy fans out to uncover truth. So when you get your wristband in the mail, make sure you send me a picture. Let me know you got it. You know what I'm saying? Bob says, what up from Frisco? All right, so we about to zoom up. We already told you guys. This was kind of an unexpected show, but I got invited to get on a show with Mark Holmes, OG Mark Holmes from YouTube, and Law Nation, a.k.a. James Harden of the Dallas Cowboys, because you know he scored a lot of points. So I got invited to do a show with them, and I was going to cut it up and chop it up and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I was like, man, why don't I find some ingenious way to have the show at the same time? And wazam, $14 later, here we go. So, hey, I'm about to give him a call on Skype real quick, and let's get this thing popping. Let's see. Now, I ain't never did this before, so if it act weird, I'll let you know. All right, let me find out he gonna send me the voicemail while I'm live with all these people and embarrass me. Like, come on, Cowboy Joe Boo, don't do your boy like that, baby. All right, we're gonna give him a call back. Let me make sure my settings is correct before, you know what I'm saying, but make sure all my settings is good. Okay. Adam says, feed me. Rodney, what up with you, Rodney? He says, there you go with the fake. Man, come on, bro. Bro, I'm going to tell you, bro, like, there we go. Leia, what up with you? Deanna, what up with you? What up with you, OG Monty? Diane, he says, hell yeah, feed Zeke. Bob, he says he's calling from Fresno. I also said that's a nice ringtone to Skype. I know. All right, so there, so bam, so all right, now it's let me see if I can see if this will work this second time. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I can see him live trying to call me. So what up with you, Joy? How you doing, Miss Joy? As soon as we get up in this show, we're gonna talk some more Cowboy football with Cowboy Joe Boo. So as soon as I didn't try to call him twice, I don't feel like I'm blowing him up. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm desperate to talk about Cowboys football. Am I desperate to talk about Cowboys football? Hell yeah, I'm gonna call him a third time. It is not. Hey, he told me to call him at 6:15.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. Can you see me?
I can't.
I can see. Oh, I can see me.
Okay, there we go.
You. Hold up. We them boys. Hold up.
Can you hear me?
Make the noise. You can do it. You can do it all night long.
Let me see something real quick.
We got Tyson on the line here. Hopefully he can get his camera working. It's great to actually see somebody who's less technology challenged, or excuse me, more technology challenged now. DMV, what's up, my man?
Look at there. See there?
Everybody, we got the West Coast coming to the East Coast, and we ain't got no beef.
Oh
We
no,
ain't got
man.
no beef.
We ain't got no
you know,
beef.
it ain't Tupac and Biggie or anything. Nah, we Dallas Cowboys. What's up, man?
Oh man, I'm great right now, man. I'm on here with the OG, man. Woo, man. We ready to get this thing
All right.
popping. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
We talk.
I'm excited as can be, man. Okay, so tonight's topic, okay, now here's my thing. I started thinking back because I know you want to bring Des Bryant back, okay, right?
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this: if Dez Bryant is still out there trying to better himself as a wide receiver, and he's still willing to take a vet minimum, absolutely yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, I can deal with that. I can definitely deal with that. Well, my question was, or the topic for tonight for me is, last year they did a deja vu. In 2009, they said we're going to make a Tony Romo friendly offense. They got rid of T.O., and it started off looking like some butt. Not good, juicy butt. We're talking about one of them long, flat butts, okay? But Romo got it together after about the fourth game and ended up with about 4,400 yards in that season. But the first four games, one of those games, he had a 29 QBR. And people had to start questioning whether or not, yeah, so much for this being a Tony Romo friendly, this thing looks like some ass. So my question now is, now that we started that statement last year, they moved on from Des Bryant, we finally got Amari Cooper. Is this offense now Dak friendly? Is the question.
Well, I think it's gonna be remaining. We're gonna have to get into camp and see. You know what I'm saying? I think the Dallas Cowboys did the best things possible to try to make it Dak friendly because one, you went and got the kid an actual quarterbacks coach who's actually played like productive games, meaningful games in the NFL with one John Kitna.
Right.
So I mean that was the first thing that they did. Then secondly, you know, the wide receivers that they brought in, you know, Randall Cobb is, you know, a lot of people, we don't really scout him that much because he wasn't a Cowboy, but, you know, Green Bay fans, they know a lot about him. They know a lot about his yak yards. You know what I'm saying? And he's really aggressive, you know, after the catch. You know, if you go look at his highlights, it almost looks like not Amari Cooper from the beginning, but it definitely looks like Amari Cooper to the end because he is a one step. If you don't grab them hips, he's going to take you to the house, you know? So I think, you know, as far as trying to get him the best weapons possible, and then you still have a guy like Cedric Wilson that was on IR, who's a big target who I think is going to be, you know, get some time this year too. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are making it as Dak friendly as possible, but I mean that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, you tell me a team that's not friendly toward their offense and that team is good.
I tell you what. Well, the DFB says Dak friendlier, but not completely friendly, or not Dak completely friendly. I'm not sure how much more we could do with the situation, but I tell you, a team that doesn't seem to be too friendly is the New York Jets. You know, Cowboy fans, we complain a lot, but how do you like to do the Jets right now?
Man, I'm just happy to be a Cowboy fan, man. I'm happy I wear a star, man, because like I couldn't imagine sharing. You know, don't they share a stadium?
They stare with the New York Stick and Giants. But you got Le'Veon Bell.
How are you a billionaire
wait.
team and you share your stadium? Like that's crazy to me. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1 week it's blue, the next week it's green. Okay, and you know the Giants, they practice right next door. The Jets are like on the other side of the city and stuff. It's crazy.
Like that should be a pre-qualifier as like when you're picking your team. Like, do you have a stadium? No.
It's in New Jersey. It's in New Jersey on top of it. Okay, so enough said. But the Jets, there's rumors that they're willing to trade Le'Veon Bell.
I mean, I heard about it, and the reason why you hear about that is because, you know, hey, you know, personalities trump everything in 2019, and from what it sounded like, the original GM, you know, the original coach, I mean, didn't necessarily want Le'Veon Bell. So now that they got him on a contract, you know, they're you know, a lot of times, I mean, you saw what Arizona did with the quarterback. I would have never thought that would have happened. You know what I'm saying? That a team would trade a quarterback they just drafted. But hey, you know, if you'll trade a quarterback that you picked 10th, why not trade a guy like Le'Veon Bell that you just picked up?
I guess so. But the whole thing of giving Adam Gates the GM job.
Yeah.
He couldn't coach in Miami. It's crazy enough that he immediately got fired in Miami, got the coaching job, but now you turn him over to coach and GM? Now, so all you people out there that are talking about how bad Jerry Jones runs the Dallas Cowboys. Man, that's a dumpster fire of hot garbage if I've ever seen one right now. I'm just happy
Yeah.
we played them.
But you got to
know?
remember, to Miami's credit, man, Nick Saban couldn't get him back either. Nick Saban won a national
he was
championship.
smart enough to say, you know what, I'm gone.
Yeah,
I'm
Nick
outta
Saban
here.
said, you ain't going to mess my reputation up.
Right. All right, so away from that dumpster fire and feeling blessed to be a Dallas Cowboy fan, offense being friendly is not only the players. I was actually looking at, I love Pro Football Focus comes up with all these different stats and stuff that kind of make you go, And run pass options usage. Kansas City, 25% of the time, run pass options it plays. The Bears, 19.2. Third, the Eagles at 14.5. We only use run pass options about 6% of the time.
Dang.
Yeah, and see, that's where, to me, and I've always said this, because you've seen Dak Prescott bootleg. You go ahead and you get Zeke Elliott doing a dive to the left and everything else. You get the offensive line doing the flow. You get Dak faking that. He rolls out to the right. And either the cornerback's going to have to come up and try and get him, in which case the wide receiver's going to be open, or he ends up staying on the wide receiver and Dak can run. And that's where a lot of these plays are coming up, because you generally are going to have one-on-one coverage. That's what RG3 lived on when he was with the Washington Redskins. He was not a pocket passer. But if he could get out there on the edge and teams were worried about him running, he was deadly.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that 6% of the time.
Absolutely. I mean, and you got to think, man, that's just like, that is pretty much the 2019 scheme of an offense. Like, if your quarterback don't have some type of shakes, if he don't have some type of movement in him, he's going to be on the ground, man. So it's like, Deshaun Watson actually got sacked more than Dak. He got put on the ground 64 times. Dak got put on the ground 56. I mean, so, and, I would think Deshaun Watson's pretty goddamn movable. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of sounded like everybody had a problem, moving, protecting their quarterback last year. So, I mean, if you don't have some type of movement in them hips, you gon', even if you don't take a lot of sacks, you're not going to really help your team out. You know what I'm saying? And, we're about to have some movement on our offensive line, to be honest. In my opinion, I don't think that what we believe our offensive line right now is going to be the same five guys. Whatever the final game is next year, at the end of this year, I think we're going to be very surprised the last five offensive linemen that are going to be starting in that final game. Prayerfully, it's in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
But, speaking of Houston, though, you think about some of the passes that Watkins, that he threw. Think about Hopkins, how often he jumped to the sky to get a lot of these passes and stuff. That was a difference in talent right there.
Yeah.
Hopkins made him look a whole lot better than what he was. We didn't have anybody, it's certainly the first half of the season, with that kind of capability. You could say Amari Cooper was definitely, in that category, but he was on a whole different level of skilled players. And it was amazing because I was watching NFL Total Access, and they were talking about Derek Carr, who is averaging 6.6 yards per pass, almost a yard below Dak Prescott. Yeah, he's the lowest. And so they were going through with the lowest yards, for the pass being the ball being in the air. Oh, hold on. You got one more now. Sorry about that. We got Law Nation joining. Let me see. Okay. All right, guys. Say a prayer. Let's see if this. Oh my God. Okay. Law Nation, can you hear me? Law, can you hear me? I hear you. Can you hear me, Tyson?
Yeah, I can. I'm good.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh my goodness.
I can't hear.
Right.
Say Law. I haven't heard Law one time since he got on there.
She says, "Can you hear Law?"
No, I can't hear him.
Ah, dang it. Hold it. You're not hearing Law, but okay. Are you hearing Tyson? Okay. So what did I do wrong? Okay. Let me try. Okay. Let me see. Can you hear him now? Say something, Tyson.
Yo. Hello, Cowboys for 6.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You don't hear him, do you? Dang. Okay. All right. This was the one test I didn't do, was to try and Skype two people in at the same time to see if they could hear each other. I can hear both of them. They can hear me. But
Hey, you know what's the best part about off season? The only thing I love about off season is this is when you're supposed to make mistakes so you can be great in the regular season. You did?
Hold up, Law, for 1 second here. Let me do 1 second. Let me try. One second. Hold up.
Gina, how you doing, Gina? I see you. How you doing, Bob? Bob says the city owns the stadium.
Keep
Yes.
on talking on that for me.
Yes, Bob, the city of Arlington does own the stadium.
Okay.
Leah says saving money. How you doing, Miss Leigh? How you doing?
Okay, let me do one thing real quick.
Michelle
let me
Pfeiffer.
know if you guys hear this, okay? It's going to be Charles Haley saying, sit your ass down, okay? Hang on 1 second here. Let me do this. And tell me if you guys hear this.
Leah says, hey, I see you
You didn't
now.
hear that, did you? Okay, all right. Okay, so then, okay, tell you what, Law, call me back on the other channel then. Okay. Damn. All right, so I got to
Jordan,
figure out.
Jordan,
Sorry,
keep
I
them
was
down.
so close.
Keep them down.
So close. Okay. All right, we were so close. I got to figure out how to get these two crossed so that way you guys hear each other. I hear it here.
It's all good. Hey, while you do that, I'm gonna talk to these subscribers in my comment box real quick.
Go ahead.
Gina, how you doing? She says, "Hey, Dallas Cowboy fan from Modesto, how you doing?" Shay, if you in Modesto, that means that we should be seeing each other at the Cowboys versus 49ers preseason game. I hate calling them preseason game because people be like, "Oh, I don't really have to go." No, you do got to go. If you ain't doing nothing on a Thursday, get your narrative to that game. Gina,
you didn't say narrow tail.
hey, that's that we coined that around here. Buddha, how you doing? She's very optimistic about our line this year. Man, I'm very optimistic about our line too. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I got the Rialto department of bombs department looking at my inbox right now because ever since I said that there might be a slight chance that Frederick may not come and be Zeus, that's all I said. I didn't say that he wasn't gonna be a man, but I just said he might not be Zeus.
I got to answer add Law to this. I forgot how to do it.
Say what?
How I add a second one to it?
Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, ever since I said that, man, y'all I mean, I lost, my inbox been going crazy. So I'm not saying that he not gonna come back and be a mere man. I'm not saying
Okay,
that.
1 second, guys.
You know what I mean? And then Diane with one N says great news. I love it too.
Where do I add?
Adam says I'm gonna keep in touch, brothers, and keep it up with this positive Cowboy fandom. You already know.
Add the note to the phone.
Buddha says ringtone remind me of a simpler time. You already know, man. Mac with Skype, man. That remind me of military days.
Okay.
Everything
All right,
about Skype reminds me of my military time.
Okay, add. Okay. All right.
What's up with you, Eulelio Velasquez? How you doing? New watcher, what's up with you, man?
Are you on there, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm live like 95.
All right, so we're going to have to work on the system here. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to what I want, but not quite there. I just got to figure out how to cross the system up. Okay, so Law, you can hear Tyson? Tyson, you
Yeah.
hear Law?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear.
Tyson?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So the question of the night, Law, was, is the Dallas Cowboys offense now Dak friendly or not?
I mean, everybody, if you look at the roster as far as the height-wise, all of these wide receivers are taller now, right? And everybody's nuanced route runners. Now the person that can't run the best routes is Michael Gallup, but he can high point the ball like no other. I like Randall Cobb. He's an A1 route runner. Allen Hurns, A1 route runner. Amari Cooper's A1 route runner. Everybody, even my dark horse, the guy that I'm rooting for is Cedric. He's an A+ route runner. So, and all those guys I just mentioned outside of Randall Cobb is 5 foot above 5'11". You know what I mean? Those all spells are Dak friendly. And then if you talk about if you get into a pinch, you need somebody to take the top off the defense. I think Tavon Austin can still do that. And then your boy Tony Pollard can do the same. So, I mean, it's loaded.
Yeah, man. That's basically that's what I was saying too. Like, it's I mean, I think we were Dak friendly last year, man. Like, but it's all about, I mean, I'm not gonna say it like this. I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are so centered around one player where it has to tailor to this. I mean, once we got Amari Cooper in here and actually start playing like a team and actually start being more cohesive, we were actually pretty goddamn productive. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the Cowboys need to be friendly to whatever these my biggest issue with the Cowboys offense is like there's moments in football games where you don't understand what they're doing. Like if you want to run, then I understand it. But there has to be some meaning behind what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve, because there is an ultimate goal. And it's what? Scoring a touchdown. Is the goal on this play to get 3 yards, or does it get 6 yards? You know what I'm saying? I think if we could just implement situations like this, like I try to call you Mark Holmes, but OG come out first, so I'm gonna just stick with it. I was talking about OG earlier, and that's what I was saying, kind of like in that Rams game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's the same mentality where it's like, yo, if it's working, let it work. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't working, then we can tweak it. But if it's working, let it work and build on it. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, you're brilliant, Tyson, because this is the thing, West Coast. The Patriots, and I'm not using the Patriots as a ruler where we have to go, but they do whatever it needs to be done. If it's 3 running backs out there, they're gonna run you three running backs. If it's passing the intermediate pass, it's gonna be that week. And if it's running the rock, it's running the rock. If it's beating you with the long ball, then Tom Brady, we're gonna beat you with the long ball. And I only said this, we was talking about, is it Dak friendly? I think that Amari Cooper is now Ezekiel Elliott friendly. Because now you're gonna have to answer for the 7 or 8 man in the box. Now also, when you bring in the Tony Pollards of the world, that's gonna help out Ezekiel Elliott. He's not gonna get all of those touches. So he's gonna be a fresher Ezekiel Elliott. So now, we love Ezekiel Elliott catching the ball out of the backfield. He was a check down guy last year, which was cool. But now we got somebody that's in the middle of the field, like the Blake Jarwins of the world, and also Jason Witten, that can catch the dump ball pass in the middle of the field, which can open up hundreds and tons of things, man.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that you brought up tight end. You know, I ain't gonna lie, they're gonna have to sell me on the usage of a tight end. Because right now, you got to think, last year we won. This only happened twice in Dallas Cowboy history where we actually won an NFL game where we did not give a tight end one target. And we won a game last year where the tight end, I'm not even saying, forget catch a pass. Like, forget the catching a pass. We didn't even try to throw the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? So,
and of course, tight end is actually the new wide receiver. I mean, you look at what Gronk did for New England. You look at Zach Ertz, with the Eagles. Tight end is actually a new weapon these days, and we definitely do not have one. And to me, and I've said this to you before many times, Law, to me, a lot of the times you looked at Dak Prescott holding on to the ball, it was like he was looking for Jason Witten and he was never there. And I think, I know he's slow as dirt. I know he still can't beat anybody, but he is still got sure hands and he can still catch the football. And you know what? If he can get us 6 or 7 yards as opposed to us getting a sack, we're good.
Yep.
I agree. 1,000,000%.
That's the biggest thing. Like, life is not really about making wholesale changes. That's not really about it. Like, to be honest with you, if you are ever in any business or any relationship where you need to make a big wholesale change, you probably need to just scrap everything. And I don't think we're in wholesale change mode. We're in tweak mode. Like, I think we diminished the fact that we did go to the second round of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I know that, that the expectation is a Super Bowl, but let's not diminish the fact that we were a 3-5 team who did make some tweaks and made it and got the privilege of playing 2 more football games. Just think of that. You know what I'm saying? So let's not just say, let's scrap everything in 2018 was a failure, because everything in 2018 was not a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me ask you this, West Coast. We built the plane while it was in the air last year, because how many coaches did we change out last year? It was a lot of them, right?
Oh my goodness! Because we got
Chris Richard. We can go one by one. Chris Richard was a first-year coach with us, right?
Yeah, Sanjay Lau. Sanjay Lau.
Sanjay Lau, okay.
Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore.
Mr. Ketchup bottled himself. Okay.
Kellen Moore was a new coach.
I can't remember the running backs coach.
You had you had Kellen Moore, you had Chris Richard, you had Paul Alexander on the offensive line. You had the
linebacker coach both go.
Yeah, the linebacker coach. You had a special team coach go. The special team coach went to Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, wow, that's
See, that's building the plane while it's in the air.
I ain't never heard that before. That is a
During
sick
the season,
saying.
we let go of Paul Alexander, okay, too, during the season. So yeah. And he had tried changing to make us more of a zone blocking team, which did not work whatsoever. So we went back to what they were doing before. Now, I just think back. I want you to turn back the hands of time to a year ago and think about where this team was right now. Think about Tyron Smith out your way, out on the West Coast, rehabbing his back, doing all kinds of different stuff to get back. And we had to wonder, should we have drafted somebody to replace him? We had Jalen Smith still with drop foot and not sure if he was going to be able to play, and figured that Sean Lee was going to have to be the guy. Of course, we had just let go of Dez. Jason Witten was gone, and we had a rookie who was going to start at guard.
Wow.
That's a lot of changes, man.
You know what's funny about that? At that point, they had us ranked about the 13th best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At this time of year.
I didn't know that. Wow.
This year, the same poll has us at 19.
Yeah. Well, also, I
Can
mean,
you
yeah.
explain that one to me?
Yeah.
How do you have? How do we go from being in that position and being ranked higher than we are with the stud? Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, we didn't have any impact players returning." Because they can't crack the lineup. You've got all pros or guys that were high round draft picks just about throughout the team roster that are going to be starting and coming back that have a chance to actually play in the same position, for the second year that are all still young. So how did we get worse?
Let me throw this in. And the media controls a lot of things, guys.
Yeah.
I looked at any channel you turn on, any network, whether it's NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, the darling team that everybody loved this year is the Browns.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
They love the Browns. And then the second team that they love is the Arizona Cardinals. And the third team that they love is at the tip of my team. But let me break down the second team. When Patrick Peterson got suspended, they said, this is going to hurt the growth factor of the quarterback. Because the quarterback, when the quarterback throws an interception, normally it's the defensive leader that goes and consult him and let him know that it's going to be okay. And then on top of that, everybody picking the Browns. They love the Browns and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they making all types.
And you know what? The Browns, I'm sorry. The Browns they're an accident waiting to happen. I'm sorry. It's going to be the Eagles' dream team all over again because you can't bring that many people together and expect them to turn around all of a sudden have cohesion. Especially when you have, Odell only showing up for one practice so far, and not really being part of the team.
Right.
Yeah.
You heard them making the excuses for that. They're like, oh, well, it's not mandatory right now.
I think the biggest thing with the Browns, honestly, is like the parts that they have don't really match each other. Like Odell Beckham does not match to be on the same team or even in the same city as Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is a guy who averages 150 catches a year. Where's Odell Beckham gonna get 125 catches from? Is Baker Mayfield now about to go from averaging 29 passes attempts a game to 43? And then on top of that, is that best for your franchise right now? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want Dak throwing the ball 43 times a game. So I for damn sure don't want Baker Mayfield throwing the ball 43 times a game. Because if he's throwing the ball 43 times a game, which he'll have to do just think about this. In order for Landry to get what quote unquote a good season for him and Odell Beckham to have quote unquote a good season for him, that means Baker Mayfield is going to have to double his pass attempts while completing those same passes. I don't. That's gonna be the biggest. Like if he does that, Baker Mayfield is the MVP next year. Period.
And the
Period.
third team is I forgot the Kansas City Chiefs, but you're right, West Coast Cowboy, because this is the thing, fam. It get cold up there.
Thank you.
in
Like,
the
I
ground.
honestly think they're. I
You
just
can't pass that rock when it get cold.
You're right about that.
like I
You are
almost feel
100% right
I almost
about
feel like I almost feel like Odell Beckham and Jarvis are gonna balance each other out, where they think that they're gonna get this like they think they're gonna get like this Tim Duncan and David Robinson effect, where you have the twin towers out there, and in one can kill one game, the next can kill this game. But no, bro, you got two alpha dogs who are gonna. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the last time they played on the same team, Jarvis Landry was the little brother. I don't think he wants to go back in that role. So I think what they really did is
you know, Odell is going to get upset because Cleveland is not the nightlife of New York and the bright lights and everything else. He's going to have a hissy fit. And when he gets out there in the cold, you remember seeing him against the Green Bay Packers when they made the playoffs that 1 year that he was there? After he carried his ass, after beating the Redskins, didn't even go home. Went straight to Miami to hang out with Justin Bieber. They had the whole boat ride and everything else, and then proceeded to show up for the Green Bay Packers game and try and act like the cold didn't bother him out there, 3-degree weather, no shirt on, and then didn't even show up for the game.
Yeah, I mean, you would think playing in New York they'd be good on that cold, but I mean, I just think with Odell Beckham, man, like if you're a wide receiver, like if you're gonna bet your career, you're a wide receiver. That means you're a professional catcher of the ball. That means you have to have someone who's slightly decent at throwing the ball. Why are you gonna put that on a and I'm not saying it's a I'm not saying that Baker Mayfield's not a good quarterback, but Baker, this is the type of you would want to give this to like Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford, guys who already throw for 4,000 yards. So you're just changing the names. Like you're basically asking, unless one of these guys are going to be okay with getting like 900 yards and the other guy getting like 14, I think you're going to get two 1,000-yard wide receivers, and I don't think you should have to pay for two 1,000-yard receivers. I don't think you should have to pay for that. Like, I don't think you should have to pay that much for that.
But, you know, here's what's amazing, okay, because now, like I said, I'm beginning to love all the numbers that are coming out because I have talked till I'm blue in the face, Cowboys blues, of course, in the face about Dak Prescott. And no matter what you say about Dak, there's always going to be a reason for it. And I played a clip from Will Kane with, I'm trying to remember the other gentleman that was on, I don't even know why I call him gentleman. But his whole thing was Carson Wentz is so much better and everything else. And Will Kane actually killed him on it. And everything, the stuff he was using as excuses was just some straight up bullshit. Now, like I said, I was watching NFL Network, and they were talking about Derek Carr. And they went through, they said, well, you know, he had two new offensive tackles, and he didn't have great talent to throw to and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. When we say that stuff with Dak Prescott, what we hear is a great quarterback will elevate the team, and they'll be able to put them on their back and take them someplace. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. You use the different parameters for Dak Prescott than you are for everybody else. You didn't make excuses for the guy who's the true dink and dunker, the guy who has the worst completion percentage in the NFL, and say, well, he didn't have anybody to throw to. Who the hell were we throwing to the first 8 games?
Right.
That's the point.
Everybody was the first day of school, you know, and nobody knew he did anybody. You had to put masking tape on the helmet so you knew who the hell you were throwing to.
Yeah, man.
West Coast, we had what was it, Deontay Thompson? We had Allen Hurns last year.
Right.
Who was our starting
I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. I'm probably.
Was out there from Cole Beasley when he wasn't injured.
Yeah.
Terrence, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I gotta like my boss Cowboys say. I gotta give a little pushback because this is my thing, right? I got kids, right? And my daughter, right? I got.
Give it an analogy.
I got kids, right?
Before you go, before you say it, I'm gonna let everybody know he got the coldest analogies in this world, man. Oh shit.
Hey, but this is my thing.
I haven't heard his analogy.
He had used one of these analogies. Just because you don't like my wife cooking, go ahead and finish it
Yeah.
off.
But hey, this is all right. So I got a daughter, right? This gonna be real quick too. I got a daughter, right? She real stylish. She won't wear nothing unless it matches, right? And so, you know, I walk out the house. She don't want to wear a jacket. It's raining cold, right? So this raining cold, she get in the car. I tell her, take your jacket. I'm not going to wear no jacket. Take your jacket. I don't want to wear no jacket. All right, whatever. Don't take the jacket. Go to school. Guess what? Because she go to one of these prep high schools, you know what I'm saying? About 3 hours later, about 10-ish in the morning, she's calling me and asking me, can I come pick her up because her throat is now burning. And I'm saying like, dang, it's amazing when you know, the very thing that you wanted and that you desired has now become the hole that you fell in, and now that's my emergency. You know what I'm saying? Now I have to now jump up and go change my day when we could have just better prepared. So it's like I kind of like turn my nose up just a tidget when people say, you know, well we had Allen Hurns and we had this person. Well, yo, if you said to get rid of Des Bryant and you did not have a formidable backup for it, you were okaying this. So my thing is this. Before we say use that as an excuse, because remember, there was a large contingent, even Stephen Jones, when he said, well, we don't really even need a number one wide receivers. There's only a handful of number one wide receivers in the NFL anyway. Well, what happened to that? What happened to that mentality? What really happened is we had a good idea and it didn't work.
Can I hit the excuse button?
Go.
They wasn't planning on Old Reliable to leave as well. They said, dang, Old Reliable's gone. Jason Witten, for those who don't know, Dez Bryant was gone. And the emotional leader, the leader of the team was Cole Beasley.
So it shouldn't have made sense.
He was the vocal leader of the team.
And think about this, Law. The craziest thing in the whole situation is that we sold that lie to ourselves. That is a flat out lie. Like that was our own fault. Weeks 1 through 8 was our own fault because we legitimately Sports Illustrated week 1 said that we had the 31st ranked weapons in the NFL. And you know what I did? I got pissed off and did a video about it. How dare they?
I think we all did a video about that, man.
And guess what? We really sucked. Like we really didn't have the weapons.
Okay, let me acknowledge the people in here real quick. Chris Jackson. D. Will, I've got avocado droppings. DK Andrews, I see Miss Jackie, of course, is handling business enough in here. She said no Des talk tonight. She's keeping control on it and everything else. Miss Jackie was at the home run derby the other night. In the future, I'm gonna have you calling in and Skyping into the show, Miss Jackie, so we can share it with everybody. Speaking of that, Law, you were at Travis Frederick's event the other night too with Cowboys Experience, right?
Oh yeah. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Cooper Rush looks like he belongs in an accountant. Mike White looks like he's still in middle school or high school, and those are our backup quarterbacks, right? And West Coast Cowboy, Antoine Barbecue Wood, he confirmed that, man, he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's more knowledgeable of the defense, right? And on top of that, Randall Cobb, man. The boy look like he's well put together. He's ready. He's lock loaded. He's laser focused. And he's ready. He said he just can't wait to get out there on the field. Who else I spoken to?
Did he mesmerize you with his eyes? Because I heard a rumor that you're not supposed to look him dead in the face. That's what they're telling me. They said don't look Randall Cobb right in the face. So I'm not gonna look him in the face. Did you look him in the face?
No homo, but the man eyes.
You looked him in the face. I knew you did. I knew you did, Law. I knew you did.
Oh, Lordy. Hey, but whoever he been in Dallas for like 10 minutes, but whoever lined him up, man, his barber is off the chain.
You looked him in the face. You gonna have a jersey. Yeah. I can see it all on your face right now. I'm not gonna look at. He ain't gonna get me. I ain't gonna look him in the face.
Don't do it. It's like, don't do it, you'll sink, huh?
Yeah, for real.
Yes, indeed,
Everybody who's joined in, of course, we have West Coast in the house. He's here on the East Coast joining us, as well as listening to nothing but the best. Law Nation joining in as we spread the mojo around. I believe we're on Facebook right now, too, right, my man?
Absolutely. We are live on Facebook, Dallas Cowboys Scouting. We ain't going to say that loud because we know somebody ain't supposed to be on Facebook. But we on Facebook. Yeah, just all I'm going to say is we ain't going to tell nobody else, Law. We ain't going to tell nobody else, Law, that you want to. We ain't going to tell nobody else. Yeah, y'all stop sharing right now.
I tell you, everybody, make sure you go through, check, subscribe to my man Dallas Cowboy Scouting, of course, to Law Nation 2.0 and Law Nation. Oh, I see. There's Boss Lombardi. I look uncomfortable. What do you mean I look uncomfortable?
You just probably need to fire.
But no, I'm enjoying myself. You need to have your behind back over here. If you're still in VA, you need to get you come back over for some more chicken wings and stuff.
Hey.
Boss. But here's the thing, YouTube and Facebook and all these platforms are evolving, and the NFL, I love the NFL. I know we all love football. NFL they're making sure they're clamping down on everything, and it kind of scares the heck out of me because we are slaves to the system. We got no control over whether or not we're on Facebook, YouTube, or anything else. My other channel got shut down. Law Nation, has had his issues and stuff, and still fighting against them. You saw Cowboys Nation Facebook page shut down.
237,000.
237,000 Dallas Cowboy fans that the Dallas Cowboys said, no, you're
like
encroaching
that.
on our intellectual
like that.
property. So we are trying to work together and figure out what the next thing is, and we're going to try and come up with our own sports channel or something or other. But we're going to be doing something really, really cool together. We're definitely going to be working with Cowboys experience and stuff and getting together, doing stuff, videos on their channel, as well as definitely doing more of the events like my man Law Nation, who's in Dallas, is able to go to, and definitely tailgates and game trips. So we're going to be very, very friendly and stuff. What game are you looking forward to the most, guys? What game can you not wait for?
Man, I'm looking for the first two games. I think that I'm tired of us starting off on the odd year slow. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of us starting off, period, slow. We need to really punch both of these teams in the mouth. And I think we need to set the tone, let the world know that we are for real. And also, I love the fact that we ranked 19th and people rating us as 16th overall in this NFL. I love flying under the radar, but I just want to just punch every team in the mouth. I just really want us to have that dog mentality. I'm tired. I'm ready to fight.
All right. And how about you, Tyson?
Shoot, honestly, man, not to sound corny, man, but my season starts preseason game week 1, man, in San Francisco, because I'll be there live in the building, man. That just lets me know we made it through another training camp, man. So I'm ready for that first preseason game because, that's the beginning of the end because, that's the best part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because football season's going to end at some point. So when it starts, it's like, dang, we one step away from it ending. So, week 1, the 49ers, man, I'm ready to see what these young boys is going to look like. I think that game, the preseason this year is going to be more important than it usually is. Why? Because we have a bunch of guys on one-year deals. So we got a bunch of guys who cannot really afford to be sitting. You know what I'm saying? So, I think so you're going to see some guys playing. And then think about this, Tristan Hill, all these backups, this is usually when they would play. You know what I'm saying? But since we ain't got a first-round pick, all those guys are going to get shoved up. You know what I'm saying? And D-Law, Taco, and Randy Gregory have a possibility of not, being there, not being available. So who even knows who's going to be? And then Tyrone Crawford may get suspended. Not saying he is, but I said he may. That's 4 defensive linemen. So that lets me know that, man, there's some dudes on that defensive line who might not have, who probably wouldn't have had a chance nowhere else, but they're going to have a legitimate shot to make this team. And guess what? One of your favorite players is going to get cut. I don't know who it is.
Who's your pet cat?
My pet cat, my pet cat on that.
Or your dark horse, yeah.
My silent guy I'm always kind of rooting for on that defense. Honestly, big number 99, man. Woods, man. He showed your boy a lot of love last year, and this is a bag season for him, man. So a guy from Compton came out of nowhere, USC, made it through the ropes, and then doing it the right way, man. And also, Rob Marinelli, man, this is one of the few guys that, that gets to come into this program and Rob be like, that was a guy I picked and look what I did with him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Because Tennessee didn't want him. And we didn't know who Antoine Woods was, so that's kind of, and if he can play like a dude that's a pro, imagine if Woods plays like a all pro or not even a little bit under an all pro on our defensive line beside D-Law. Oh my God, D-Law and Anthony Quinn gonna get 15 sacks apiece. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be ridiculous.
If we get that push in the middle, you amen on that one.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Actually, in Law, who's your dark horse?
Man, it's again, now as far as the rookies, I'm going with Michael Jackson. And then I'm still rooting for Cheeto, man. That's my guy. As far
That's
as
your long-term
the
guy.
guy that's been on his team. I really think that last year, towards the latter part, he became a little bit better, started turning his head around for the ball. Although the guy from the Seattle Seahawks caught that pass on him, I still rooting for Cheeto Bouzier. But I want Michael Jackson to set the tone too. I think that with his presence out there on the field, getting that size on the defense, you guys know I don't like DBs. I love them. So I just really want to see some turnovers and takeaways. I want to see that guy play a little close to the LOS too. So that's my pet cat, and that's my dark horse, and my pet cat is Cheeto.
Well, I tell you what.
Can I throw a question out there? Can I throw a question on the flip
go ahead.
side?
Of course, man.
Who's
Family.
your oh my God, I didn't know he got cut, but he got cut player?
It's gonna be, man, for me. It is gonna be so tight with
Cause Law, you know it's some people,
man.
that's gonna not make this
one of them.
team. It's some folks that's not about to make this team.
Tyrone Crawford.
Who you say?
Tyrone Crawford, Alan Hearns, Lyle Collins. One of those three will not be here, guaranteed.
Wow, you said Lyle Collins, they're going to hit me hard right there, fam.
I'm just telling you because, listen, the bottom line is the bottom line. It all depends on how McGovern plays. If you end up having McGovern come in and say he can be a starter, you're going to kick out. Did I lose somebody?
Yeah, I mean,
because, if you can put Connor Williams at a tackle, you're talking about $8.5 million. You're talking about money
That's fact.
that they need, and that's where football is a cold-hearted bitch because you look at money, and that's the bottom line. You got Tyrone Crawford that you can save about 6.5, or is it 5.5? You got Alan Hearns that you save 5.5, and Lyle Collins is $8.5 million. And if you're talking about having to pay these guys, your money's got to come from somewhere. Oh, it's Voss trying to come in. Oh shit!
But you know what? While Bosh is coming in here, my thing is when I saw Tyrone Crawford at the event, and West Coast can tell you too, this team they don't like Tyrone Crawford. They love him. They all gravitate around him. He actually was at the event corralling. Everybody was like centered around Tyrone Crawford. You see, he wouldn't let nobody get close to Zeke. He wouldn't let nobody get close to Dak. But he was that guy that was just like the defender of everybody. So it's going to be a hard cut for them to cut Tyrone Crawford. But I feel what you're saying.
I think my three maybe surprise cuts or guys that might have a chance that. One is, I could see not necessarily a cut, but someone I should have worded it better as far as they're not on this team. Because if you put it like that, I think that definitely opens up Lyle Collins, to be put there because the third round pick is definitely a shot at that because that gives you more versatility to be able to move. And I always tell people, it's not necessarily about can this guy be better than Lyle Collins because I'm not asking that. I'm asking how far is the drop off? You know what I'm saying? Like I get 5 yards with him, so I'm gonna get 4 with you. That's not so bad for $8 million. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I can compensate that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think Lyle Collins' biggest thing is he got to make sure that and think about this. Another issue with Lyle Collins is this, man. His money says that he's the 7th best guard in the NFL. Why? Because he's the 7th highest paid guard in the NFL. So he's already getting paid a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So, I gotta go with you on that one, OG, on the Mark Holmes ones. I definitely gotta give you Lyle on that one. Then my next one is a guy who, I've been rocking with for a very, very long time, and that's my boy Kayvon Frazier, man. And the reason why I say Kayvon Frazier is because, man, they brought that boy Donovan Wilson on the team, and they got the boy George Iola, and Jeff Heath just put it in the Jeff Heath said to somebody the other day, basically, hold up real quick, let me find out I've been live this whole time. Hello?
Who else you said, Mark?
All right, hello? Did you lose me?
Yeah, that was my mistake here.
Yeah, Lyle Collins was the other one, and there's a third person.
Hearns Collins, and Tyrone Crawford.
Okay.
One of those guys.
All right, let me shoot you my three. I gotta definitely agree with
Are
you
you
on.
still there, Voss?
Yeah.
Okay, Voch is up in here. All right, what's up with you, Voch? West Coast?
What's up, Young Tyson?
What up with you, man? Yeah, so my three, the three that I was gonna say is I definitely agree with you on Lyle Collins, simply because you can either do something via trade. I don't know if they'll just straight out cut because the Dallas Cowboys haven't, if you as long as you keep your mouth closed, they ain't really been cutting folks. You know what I'm saying? So I think they'll probably even let him make it if he keep his mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? As long as he just don't
Let
get.
me throw this at you.
Wait. Go ahead.
How much of a drop off really was Lyle Collins opposed to a Doug Free? Or how much of improvement was Lyle Collins opposed to Doug Free? Y'all help me out. Because I know some Cowboy fans will say, hey, we went 13-3 when Doug Free was in there. So let me know, man. Just help me out. Botch, I know Botch got the answer.
Man, Lauren.
Lord.
Man,
Let me grab the bottle.
Man, listen, man. Talent-wise, Leo Collins is as good as anybody on that offensive line. Talent-wise, it ain't close. I remember when Doug Free was leaving and Le'el was coming in. What did everybody say, man? All you got to do is be better than Doug, and that ain't.
Yeah, we'll crop, baby.
And we'll be fine.
The problem with Le'el ain't his physical talent, bro. It's his composure in games. He misses with his hands. His feet are fantastic. But he'll let somebody like Ryan Kerrigan get hands inside on him, and next thing you know, he bull rushing Le'el into Dak into Zeke. Hell, he took him to Jason one time, and I'm like, Le'el, you one of the strongest cats on this line. You might be the third or second. What's going on here?
Yep.
It's the small technical flaws, and it's something about somebody that's just solid. Doug Free was just solid. He'll never kick like Le'el. He'll never punch, move, pull, and smack people like Le'el. But it's something about the play. They just don't add up for Le'el. So I've been on my campaign since January to get me a guard so I can get Le'el up out of here. I can get young Connor Williams that type.
And you got to think, and also, I'm real big on the money. The money says that he's gonna probably go somewhere next year.
9.7.
Yeah, like he's gonna go, and then he's seventh. Like I was saying earlier, he's seventh ranked as far as pay. He's the seventh highest paid guard already. So he's getting paid, and then you're gonna put him in top 5 money. When you put him in top 5 money, it can't be by guilt by association. Like you got to really be there because you're gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're getting that type of money, that's dictating that I should be able to do things with you. You know what I'm saying? Like Lyle Collins, man, like if you guys noticed, that screen it worked good, but it worked better on Tyron Smith's side. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not gonna tell me that Tyron Smith is not that Lyle Collins is not a better athlete than Tyron Smith right now today.
Okay.
Right now today.
As of May 17th.
As of May 17th, right now today.
Let me go and get this in for everybody. Yeah, we're going to go into overtime here because when you get this much star power, you just can't leave it. I can just basically kick back and drink some rum and enjoy myself. So shout out to everybody that's in here. Thank you, Miss Jackie. I hope you can stay in the overtime. All you great fans, you are listening to Nothing But the Best with Law Nation, Boss Lombardi, and West Coast. So we are literally covering the whole country from California to Texas to Virginia. Now, I'm going to say this much because we say, Lyle Collins is well liked in the locker room and stuff, and they wouldn't cut him. But
I'm talking about Tyrone Crawford is well liked.
No, Tyrone Crawford.
But wasn't DeMarcus Ware?
Yeah, but the only thing about DeMarcus Ware is
back surgery. They were scared.
Can I say
back surgeries and money?
Can I say something about DeMarcus Ware? Because this is something that folks don't want to talk about. And I heard of some people in Dallas make this statement, and that is this: DeMarcus Ware did take himself out on run plays. And this is the thing: like players are gonna respect. They're gonna respect one thing, but it's like when they know that you only want to get paid to do one thing, the players are gonna feel one way about you, and then. We as fans are gonna see you one way, but and I'm not saying that the players didn't like him, or there was any ill will. But man, I understand why Jerry Jones let him walk because you want $12.5 million to play 40% of the time. Like that doesn't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's I love D-Law. I do. I'm not D-Law, but I love D-Ware. Obviously, I guess I love D-Law more. But I love D-Ware. But my thing is this. All I'm asking you is tell me a game where D-Law took a game over, or tell me a D-Law moment that is the catalyst of a game. That's all I'm saying. He's the best defensive end in the first 3 quarters. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying. And I love me some D-Law. 100 sacks.
So I missed something. You said D-Law ain't shit is what you said?
No, I'm not saying that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. D-Law, for the price that we were paying at that time, he only wanted to play 40% of the snaps, 40 to 50% of the snaps, because he only D-Ware. I apologize, Vaj. I apologize, Vaj. I'm talking about D. I'm talking about Ware. Vaj is like, let me back off this cliff.
Bosch was like this. He was waiting for that hammer to come, that Thor's hammer. You know how you call for the hammer? He was like, where that hammer?
No, I'm talking about D. I'm talking about. It was about to go down.
He was about ready to kill.
I was wondering, like, wait, why is Vaj disagreeing with me?
Bosch was like this.
Okay, cool. We straight.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, D-Ware, let me be clear. D-Ware did not want it to be active in the run game. He did not. But one of the things I love about D-Law is D-Law makes a very good impact on your run. So it makes him more of an all-around DN. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, and that's why I said don't hate on me when I get on D-Ware, but I just don't, I don't remember any 4th-time sacks or I remember D-Law taking over a game, 3 sacks. I do, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't remember of those real big D-Ware moments, and I don't want to hate on him, so let's just move on. I feel like I'm hating on him now.
Nah, you good, Tyson. Look, man, because you were saying it, and I'm replaying all the times in my head that I'm ready to get you. You know what I'm saying? But you do have a point though. Sometimes D-Ware would just disappear, and it could be a product of he had so many guys around him at the time. Like they had a good defense back then too. Yeah. So D-Ware would take off a run play, but when we needed him, and that kind of gives you an indication. We'd be like, yo, man, it'll be nice if we got Stack right here, and D-Ware can get it for you. But fam, you could have got it 3 plays ago. Let me get it 3 plays ago. So that makes sense. And plus, he was 30-something, and plus $12 million back then was a lot of money.
It was a whole lot of money.
Yes, indeed. And we got beat up by Anthony Spencer contract, whatever his name was,
Yeah.
And then my third person that I said, my third person that I said that it could be and it's a guy I show a lot of love. I got a gang of his jerseys and stuff autographed. But I'm gonna be honest with you. My boy Kayvon Frazier, man, I don't know how he's gonna make it through the meat grinder this year because they didn't really use him last year. And then you bring in Donovan Wilson, who, it seems like they do a lot of the same things right now. And then Jeff Heath,
I might lose you guys.
Jeff Heath already said that he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, look.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Heath's not going nowhere. George Ioka, at $700,000, why not give him a shot? He started 15 games last year. So my boy Kayvon Frazier, man, like I'm a little nervous for him, and that's like my only concern because I got a lot of love for him. But
he played quite a bit of special teams though, and we're still.
But a fourth-year special teamer.
George Aloka can go, in my opinion.
So who do you, George or Kayvon? Who would you?
I'm keeping Kayvon. Like
Thank
George
you. I would prefer.
George doesn't give me indication that he can play with us. Because last year in Minnesota, I remember doing the research. I was like, oh snap, we got George Aloka. Let me look some film up, and I got 13 plays from last year. I'm like, was he hurt? I'm like, was he hurt? I'm like, what's going on with George Aloka? I called my man. He said, oh nah, he was just on kick return, kickoff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kicking game. Like George didn't even play. And I'm like, did he cuss the coach out or something? But nah, he just got his spot took and he wasn't in the rotation or nothing. I can't see a guy like that coming up in here talking about some demanding play time. I know a lot of people don't like Jeff Heath, but one thing Jeff Heath can do is ass can cover.
Yep.
His ass can play one high.
And
he can play in the box. He's versatile in that way. And that's something that George Aloka doesn't really do very well. So I'm up here trying to figure out why people say George's going to come and take Jeff Heath's spot. I don't think George is going to take Donovan Wilson's spot because I was watching his Texas A&M film, and what he can do is cover out of the slot.
Yep.
He can play one high,
Yep.
just like Jeff Heath. George Aloka can't do that. So I don't know what he's going to do. So it's going to come down to him and Kayvon. And Kayvon got, familiarity, I guess. So we'll see what happens there.
It's going to be a lot of barking this offseason. Chris Richard is going to have a lot of competition because they got Michael Jackson. They hire Chris, the 6'7" guy, whatever how tall he is. They hire him. So
they love some tall quarterbacks. Yeah,
they love it. So
I got a question for not all Cowboys fans, but the 80%, the emotional, the irrational, the illogical. It seems like people have so much faith in Chris Richard to fix anybody. Oh, Chris gonna have George Iloka straight. Oh, Chris gonna have Michael Jackson straight. Oh, Chris drafted kid that wasn't even a starter at damn Kentucky, was in a rotation with the number 31 kid.
Wesley. Chris
Boy,
Wesley.
Chris Richard gonna have him straight. How come Chris Richard can fix everybody except Jeff Heath? I don't know.
Think about, but he kind of did. But Jeff Heath did improve angle wise. Jeff Heath did have some angle issues that he did improve on. But I mean, I just think, I honestly, I don't think there really is improving. Like, if you are a Honda Accord, bro, you are a Honda Accord. You cannot get out there and run with NASCARs. We can put some Supra in you, but you're always going to be a Honda Accord. But I think he can be the best Honda Accord for us. You know what I'm saying? He just can't run with them boys.
And let me put this in perspective for Jeff Heath, man. Go ahead, fam. Because I'm just going to say this. To me personally, I just think Jeff Heath is a free safety. I don't like him at strong. I love him at free. But that's a story of a different day. But go ahead.
I feel you with that. Like, Jeff is a Honda Accord, and I'm cool with that. And the only reason I'm getting rid of this reliable-ass Honda Accord, you got to upgrade me. You got to give me a Porsche if you going.
And it's paid off. It's cheap. It's cheap as hell.
But you can't give me a Porsche. I'm not throwing money to upgrade to a Honda Civic.
Yeah. That's true.
You ain't gonna step out the car to go to the Honda Civic. I feel you. Just because it's built in 2019 opposed to this 2013. I feel you. Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking at DK Andrews. He say tools, Vach, tools. You're probably referring to George Iloka's size, which is a tool. I feel you. But what about Jeff Heath's mental processing? What about his range? What about his football intelligence? That don't count for nothing.
Think about this. He made the absolute right play in the Oakland Raiders game that does not get talked about, but he made a 50-50 shot in a Rams game, and that gets talked about as if like that's.
You know what? That's what it is with these cats.
And I'm like,
the last impression is what they think was the whole problem.
Because the Oakland play is harder to make. The Oakland play is way harder to make, and he made that play.
Because we talking about this Honda Accord. That Honda Accord leading your team in interception.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Now, let's be honest. That ain't nothing to tout about. We don't have anybody that's a real ball.
Hey, but you know what? You can only do what you can do, though. That ain't his fault. That ain't his fault. Hey, you got some football players on here, man. Hey, that ain't my fault. I did my job. Like, that ain't my fault.
People so hard on Jeff Heath because they've been hard on Jeff Heath and they want to be consistent. But when he picking people off, when he catching interceptions in damn Seattle, when he almost picked off Matt Ryan, but Julio punched him in the sternum, we don't say nothing then.
Nope.
He's more rangy plays than the damn free safety. And I love Xavier Woods, but why are we
You know what it is, Bosh?
Yeah.
Bosh, you know what it is?
What is it, Mike?
It's because it's a white guy.
Hey, no, because look at Minnesota. Minnesota got two. Minnesota got a crazy white boy named Harrison over there I would love to have number 22 on my team.
Harrison is cold.
I'll take him any day.
That was okay. You got what I'm doing because it goes back to our quarterback situation there because for some reason they won't. What, he had to get up and leave.
He had his charger. Oh,
okay. You think about our quarterback. For some reason, regardless of the statistics, it's always that he's a bum, this, that, and the other, and it's kind of like I'm curious if it's a reverse effect. You got what I'm saying there?
Well, as far as I mean, let's put the notion out there. To call yourself an intelligent football player, you got to understand the odds of making it into the NFL are almost like 1 out of like 4 million. So it's legit. I mean, even Eli, and it's sad to say, but you can't. There's not a person in the NFL who made it in the NFL to play in an NFL game and say that they're a bum, including Eli Manning. Just because the odds say that you'll get swiped out in college. Like when you get your second year of college, you'll realize, yeah, I'm not gonna make it in the NFL. Why? Because I'm not this high, I'm not this tall. So there's really no bums in the NFL. Now, this is what I'll say about Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? The Dak Prescott, if he's on any other team other than the Dallas Cowboys, you're perfectly fine with what he's doing right now. Why? Because it shows progression. The only thing wrong with Dak Prescott is the same problem that was wrong with Luke Walton. You want to know why? Because Luke Walton won more games every single year. But as soon as we got LeBron, we had the opportunity of winning a championship. And instead of going from 30 games like we did last year to 50 games, which would have been an improvement, hell no, we was trying to go from 30 to a championship. Why? Because we got LeBron now. And that is not realistic. And guess what? Now you hire Frank Vogel, who has not even clearly a better resume than my boy Luke Walton. Sorry, that I had a little left over from another show, but I had to throw that. That was crazy though. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good nugget, man. It's a good nugget.
What it is though, Tyson, what it is that we have Dak Prescott and we see guys like Pat Mahomes right in. And not we, but like them. They go, God damn, boy, I want Pat Mahomes, boy. Or I want this guy or that guy. But in real life, 24-year-old quarterbacks ain't good like that.
Nope.
They normally not. Like, it takes an offensive genius to bring that out of a 24-year-old quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So what Dakota Prescott is doing at his age is above the curve. Aaron Rodgers wasn't good till he was 27. Ben, Tom, they was winning Super Bowl.
But you can't tell Cowboy fans that kind of stuff, though.
Right. You're speaking too much truth now, man.
And here's the problem, though, is fantasy football has killed it. Because they're looking at the fantasy numbers and they're saying, well, he's not making all these fantasy points, so he's automatically a bum. But they're not looking at this offense is not a throwing offense. It's predicated on having Zeke Elliott pound the rock, and it was very simplistic. Now, hopefully we open some things up now that we got some stallions on the outside. But, that's where people keep looking. It's fantasy.
I heard somebody call Ezekiel Elliott overrated and trash just because he only had 6 touchdowns. I was sitting there like, oh, my God.
Yeah, well, we got
Ezekiel Elliott's fault now.
Yeah, man. And also, you also got to...
And people walk around with silver and blue on, man, and that just, it hurts my spirit, man, when I hear that.
And you also got to remember... You also got to remember, Law, that like you got 32 teams in the NFL, but not all 32 teams goes to win a Super Bowl every year. Like, you're not going to tell me that the Baltimore Ravens are really trying to win a Super Bowl this year. Like, they're trying to win one in the next 5 years. They're not trying to win one like this year. You know what I'm saying? But when you see the Dallas Cowboys, it's not even that we're trying to. It is the expectation. You know what I'm saying? So we are the only team that has that expectation. Regardless of we could have just drafted 6 defensive backs in this draft, and people still would have been saying the expectation of the Dallas Cowboys are to go to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So I mean, sometimes it's just we could just be like the Browns where we don't expect nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like it's kind of like the but it's the other side of that sword though. It's the other side of that sword. Like that's what happens when you're the number one franchise in America in any sport. You know what I'm saying? That you have that.
I just think people want what they don't have. And if y'all don't mind me,
that's true.
Like, if y'all don't mind me filibustering for a minute,
Okay.
but once upon a time, Tony used to go at that thing and throw for like 400 yards, but we'll say, damn, wish we'll win that game though. Your show would have been nice to win that game. I see Rain Dakota win games, but he'll throw for like 250, run for like 80, and we'll go, boy, look, Dak only threw for 200 yards though. Dak only just, fam, everybody's goal when they get a quarterback, the goal is to find a way to win with that guy. Nobody cares about the throws you can make, because for the most part, everybody can make throws. If not, it's your job as a coach to take away throws that they can't make. Yeah. How can you win with this guy? That's the key. Matt Stafford had one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Matt Ryan got one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Matt didn't make the
Preach.
playoffs last year. Neither one of those guys made the playoffs last year.
Preach.
Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest. He didn't make the playoffs last year. We got Rain Dakota Prescott, right? And he may take an extra sack, piss us off. He may throw that bitch to somebody's ankle. He may throw it to the other team. But at the end of the day, that some bitch win football games, which is where we rank guys based on wins. We don't rank guys based on arm talent. Ryan Mallett would be one of the GOATs, but he's not because he don't win. He don't win. If Brett Favre didn't win, he'll just be a hard-throwing ass bum if he didn't win. Rain Dakota Prescott wins. We aren't fans of the Cowboys to say, shit, boy, we going to draft us a receiver and our quarterback going to throw for 5,000 yards this year. We don't say that. We talk about wins because that's all the shit that matters. So why once we finally get, hold on, Mark, why we finally get a guy that wins, we look for all the other shit that don't matter. That's what I don't like.
Where the collection plate at, man? Y'all pass the collection plate around.
Man, I just think it's because, man, when you in that foxhole and you barely making it because they didn't see you and you gambling, it just seems like, I think people just want, I'm tired of paying my mortgage off a lottery ticket for that. I no longer want Dak to have the most comebacks in the NFL, meaning comebacks, that means statistically you were losing going into the fourth quarter. I want us
offense. Make it where Sewell Philo not on the field, where Redmond not on the field.
Exactly. So that's and that's
Burns ain't one guy. I'm not cussing at you, Tyson. I'm just saying like you're speaking for what they saying, and I'm cussing at what they saying. It seems like once you get this man a piece to work with, he's magically better than what he was at first. Boy, we had Cooper. We look so much better. Oh, well, Dak need a receiver. Tom Brady ain't never had a tight end he couldn't go to, or a damn greatest head coach of all time he couldn't go to. We only make these excuses when it comes to our guys. And that shit makes me sick.
Preach, man. Preach.
You want to know why, though? The reason being is because you got to pay him. And, like, it doesn't matter, man. Once you get, like, it sounds good, but as soon as I get to the register, I got 50,000 reasons on why I shouldn't buy this. And that's just natural.
Pay cost do business, because if not, you're going to have to roll out Brian Hoyer, and that shit ain't good for nobody.
Yeah, but think about this. I don't knock the Dak, because I know everybody's kind of like wishy-washy on how the Dallas Cowboys are handling the Dak Prescott contract situation, because that's pretty much the elephant in the room. Because it's not, if you're still debating if the Dallas Cowboys are going to keep Dak, like, go get on another show, because he's going to be our quarterback for the next 3 years. It's just a matter of, it's just about how we accommodate and pay for him. You know what I'm saying? The biggest travesty is that we didn't win a Super Bowl in the last 3 years. Why? Because it only cost us $3 million to have him as a quarterback. Hey, but it didn't happen. Now we got to pay $30 million. You know what I'm saying? Or you can start over. Now, this is what I ask people. This is the biggest thing I always say about any decision that you have to make about the Dallas Cowboys. It needs to be filtered through this. When are you trying to win a Super Bowl? Because if you're telling me that that this idea is going to help us win a Super Bowl in 2020, I don't want to hear it. Because 2019 is going to be this year. You know what I'm saying? So, paying him and going forward is what's going to help us get a Super Bowl in 2019. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's what I'm.
And West Coast, this is my philosophy all the way through with this thing.
Like, I'm tired of waiting till next year. I'm tired of waiting till next year.
All I want us to do is come out healthy. And then through the regular season, all I want, I'm not even thinking about the Super Bowl. It's in the back of my mind. It's like that sexy car that I want to get, that Lambo. But what I'm saying is, what we should do is win our division, get a home field game in the playoff, and then from there, win that playoff game, use that momentum to win the next game, and then we get to the Super Bowl.
No, I'm sorry, Lord. It can't be that. It can't be. Go ahead. I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead.
Real fast. Like, I feel what you're saying on that whole we've been winning with Dak cheap. That whole, like, now we got to pay him 30 deal. Yeah. It's not like we've been winning ball games based on that $30 million that we missing or that we gaining. We don't really pay guys no way. Yep. We've been winning based on drafting well. You know what I'm saying? True. And we're a team that drafts well. Like, next year we're gonna have like 60 to 75 or so $1 million in cap space. And you go, damn, where that come from? Because we drafted all our starters are guys that we brought in, through the draft or whatnot. So in my mind, if you got to pay Dak his 30, just keep drafting well, and that's gonna even itself out. These other teams that put big money on quarterbacks, these other teams that like the Giants or whatever, right? Everybody, man, look, you drop all that money on defense, but they don't draft well. So now that money ran out. All those guys are gone. Vernon, Pierre-Paul, that whole big D-line they put together, those guys gone because they don't draft well. We got 5th round, 4th round, 3rd round, 7th round starters on our team. Yeah. And as long as that don't go nowhere, I think that's the key. So pay Dak his money, and as soon as we can't pay Byron, don't panic because it's gonna be a draft day year and a draft the year before that where we can get a
Hey, I always say this. There's two things in the NFL that you're always gonna pay for. You're gonna either pay to protect your quarterback or you're gonna pay to stop the run. And I'm gonna tell you and this is the thing. The key to a good team is you got to find a way that you're not paying for both. Because if you're paying for both, you're paying a whole lot of money. Why? Because those are the most expensive positions in football. So the Cowboys, guess what we do? We pay to protect our quarterback, and then we can get to the run. We stop the run on accident. The reason why I say you stop the run on accident is because you got Antoine Woods. You got such and such and such. You got a whole laundry of guys. Tyrone Crawford, a guy, I'm going to be honest with you, he's better today than what he was 2 years ago. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that lets me know that we saw something in him early, and we said, we're going to work with this. We're going to keep working with this. You know what I'm saying? So we are at the point where we are the only team in the NFL who can legitimately say we can stop the run and we don't have to pay for it. And I'm going to tell you, if that ever gets to a position where, because think about this, your offensive line is taking up 31%. I repeat, 31% of the cap.
Keep it that way.
31%. So my thing is this, and that's five people. So if you get these defensive line, bro, how could you have a $30 million quarter? You couldn't. So something has to work. Go ahead.
Because how this working is, we have a core set, and I did a video on this. We have a handful of personnel spots that we value higher than others.
Absolutely.
So our left tackle gonna get paid. Our center's gonna get paid. Wide receiver number 1, quarterback, all those guys gonna get paid. When it's come down to like left guard and shit, like we gonna have to let that go and draft another one. Like I don't think like Connor might get paid just off the strength of Leal's not getting paid no more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Your guy Antoine Woods, he may not get paid in this system. Damian Wilson, we can't just say, oh, let's pay everybody. Damian might not make it back. But what we got to do is we got to draft guys at those complimentary spots is what I call them. So everybody want to talk about why we not going big at safety. Shit, because we don't value safety like that. We got Xavier Woods in the damn 5th round from La Tech. You know what I'm saying? So I think at some point we're just going to keep drafting corners and drafting safeties, left guards, 1 tech, Sam linebackers, because those guys aren't important to us. Jalen Smith going to get his money. Y'all been seeing the news. Jalen Smith going to get paid because that is a very important part to what we do. Van Der Esch is a key read and will linebacker. He's going to get paid.
Yeah, and think about this. Jalen Smith is actually a restricted free agent, so technically you don't even have to do a deal with him if you don't want to. But guess what? The Cowboys are saying we're not even going to take a chance because they already know if you put a first round tender on Jalen Smith, who was supposed to be in the first round, every team in the NFL, including 2 teams that played in Mexico, are going to call and try to get Jalen Smith.
Yes, indeed. Hey, guys, I got to split like hair, man, but I got to get on out of here, man. But I appreciate you, Mark, for bringing me on. Shout out to Voch. Continue to grind and shine, baby. That's all the time that I have. Salute.
All right. Well, you have been listening to nothing but the best. Law Nation in the house. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, definitely go through and do it. And Philly Cowboy 76, thank you very much for the super chat.
I got about 10 minutes too, man. So what's your final thoughts for the night, man? Oh, actually, can I ask? I mean, Voch, man, you known around town as the old line, like the connoisseur. That's one thing that I know.
That's all he cares about is that damn offensive line.
Hey, if that's the only thing you gonna care about, then praise God for it. But I want to know. Stephen Jones made this statement. Our job as a unit is to get the best 5 offensive linemen on the field at any given time.
Sure.
How do you do that in 2019? And
in
also,
2019,
go ahead.
2019, as of today, La'el Collins is your right tackle and Connor Williams is your guard. But it's going to be a lot of trying Connor Williams out at tackle, like in training camp and stuff like that, because by 2020, La'el Collins is $9.7 million. It ain't gonna be there next year. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the front office. They saying, man, you know, we love La'el. We want to pay La'el. We want to keep La'el. Sure, you want to keep La'el, but it may not be realistic to keep La'el. So what I think is gonna happen is he's gonna, you know, get up out of here. Unfortunately, Connor's going to be your right tackle, and McGovern's going to be your left guard in 2020. But as of this year, I think they go ahead and let Collins run at right tackle and let Williams play left guard.
All right, that was a setup question for my real question. Now with that, what do you do with the Joe Looney problem? Because are you not concerned with that Joe Looney's going to take a step in the right direction this year? Because I would think if Joe Looney is able to grow off of what he did in 2018, bro, he's going to be a pretty darn good center in this league.
My thing about Joe Looney, I think Joe Looney,
and he's not a guard. I don't think he's built. I don't think he can play. I mean, he can play guard, but I don't think the Cowboys foresee him playing guard. So people keep saying, "Oh, he can just play guard or left." No, because he didn't even play guard. We drafted Connor Williams, and before we even gave Joe Looney a chance at guard. So I don't think they see him as a guard. So are you really gonna just let him rot on the bench for a whole season?
You have to, because I understand that he played 17 games for us last year, but 17 games for us. But bro, you notice how much different a Travis was than a Joe Looney. He was very serviceable, but you can upgrade him. You know what I mean? So as far as Joe Looney goes, he's another guy that, hey man, we might not be able to drop any bread on him. You know, and I think that's Connor McGovern. He can play guard and center pretty damn well. Now as far as this year, I'm fine with the depth we got this year. Let Connor McGovern sit on the bench. Let Joe Looney sit on the bench. Because what's going to happen is, if you look at last year, Adam Redmond got snaps. Su'a-Filo got snaps. Cameron Fleming got snaps. I didn't want those guys on the field. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if there's ever a situation where we need another center, where we need another guard, then we got guys. We got Connor McGovern. And if Joe Looney got to bite that bullet, then I apologize. I'm sorry.
Who's your starting five right now? So I'm obviously Tyron Smith. Who's your Tyron Smith? Who's beside Tyron Smith right now?
The Cowboys are gonna say Connor Williams, but Vach says put Connor McGovern there.
Okay, and then so then my question, man, because I just feel like you're not doing your offensive line a service without having some type of competition. Because I don't want to be under the assumption that Travis Frederick is just about to come in and be an all-pro guard. All-pro center after not playing a year.
I totally agree. And that's why I was on board with drafting offensive line. Me and Mark fussed and cussed over this plenty of days.
God, yes, man.
Plenty of days. But I was like, Mark, there's a possibility that Travis may not be ready when we come back. Travis got sick out of nowhere. He could get sick again out of nowhere. So if Travis does come back and he's Travis, then Travis is at center. If Travis does not come back as Travis, then Connor can play center and Looney can play center and Connor McGovern can play guard for you. You want to talk about competition? Connor, Su'a-Filo, Looney, those guys going to have to fight for that left spot. I think Connor McGovern is the better guy. And that's just in Vach's mind, because in real life, Connor Williams is going to be a left guard in real life. But you got actual competition there. Su'a-Filo may not make the team, and I'm fine with that because I think he's terrible. Cowboy fans love him because you start him and you won the game. Dak still got sacked 6 times versus Saints. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we just going to have to come to the grips that this team is more talented than it's ever been. Once upon a time, Jeremy Mincey got 6 sacks for us. We were like, man, we're good. Because they wasn't deep back then. We're deep now. So if a guy like Joe Jackson don't make the team, or if Joe Jackson beat Dorrance Armstrong out, or if something happens to Taco, we got to be able to live with that because we got too many guys on this team that can play.
Yeah, man, that's actually how we started this show off.
Keep everybody.
That's how we actually started the show off. We were saying, like, there's going to be some guys. Like I told everybody, hold off on your jersey buying because there's going to be some guys that's not going to make this team. And there's going to be some guys that you're going to be like, oh, my God, I thought he was going to make this team. You know what I'm saying?
I tell guys all the time, and they're like, yo, Vach, why would you bench La'el Collins and he making all that money? I tell you what, when Van Der Esch started running his ass around, Sean Lee was on that bench. So, it's just going to come down to the best guys on the team, man. And
should be.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, in the offense, our offensive line is such a focal point to our team that it's like you have to be honest on that offensive line. And like, that's the biggest thing that scares me with Travis Frederick is because Jerry Jones, like let's just be real. Jerry Jones, you can't, if I'm Travis Frederick, you can't tell me, oh, it's 100% about your health. Because if that was the case, why you didn't put me on IR week 1? You know what I'm saying? You waited till week 11. That means you was hoping in the back of your mind that I was magically going to appear and get out there and play at some point.
Travis, you okay this morning?
Yeah. Hey, Bosh, I said the same thing. I said, bro, I wonder when them calls stopped. Like, I wonder, hey, how you doing? You good? You feeling up this morning? Like, you're not going to, like, so that's what I'm saying.
Now,
like,
hold on. But you get that football mentality. Literally, I tore my ACL, and on Friday, on Monday, I was ready to try and practice and be back on the field.
Well,
you know that you are, and you literally have to be on death's bed not to want to play.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You can want to play, but this is paycheck football. And at paycheck football, if you ain't at your best, you go sit your narrow tail down somewhere. Because now you affected my paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Because now we didn't give up 40, 45 sacks, and it's really because you just not healthy. You know what I'm saying? And think about this, Vach. If Antoine Woods does not stand up Travis Frederick at a practice and Travis Frederick slaps him in his face, you know what happens? You know what happens? Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
But I'm going to tell you what else happens. Travis Frederick is your starting center all last year. And you know what we're thinking about right now? Travis Frederick has fell off a little bit. The only reason why he even knew he had the disease is because he got stood up at practice. And guess what? When they went to San Francisco, instead of him going to the game, he went to a clinic. That's how he found. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. The Dallas Cowboys really didn't even know about it then. So that's what I'm saying, man.
But hopefully Travis comes back. Give me 95% at least, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cool with Joe Looney, man, but I dropped an Ndamukong Suh film session today, boy, and Ndamukong Suh picked Joe Looney up off the ground and grabbed Zeke ball. Like, can't have that no more, man. I don't want that no more.
But Travis is known for his strength and his immune deficiency. It attacks the strength. So think about this, Vosh. You're not even going to know. You're really not even going to know who Travis Frederick is until, week 1? Unless you have a private practice in the back where nobody can see and you put him on and say, Antoine Woods, I'm going to give you $1,000 if you stand him up.
Preseason.
Man. And you're gonna.
Travis not gonna play in the preseason.
He's not gonna play in the preseason.
Yeah, but you may want to put him out there.
In the preseason, Mark.
But think about this. Even in the preseason, he's gonna be going against less talent. So even then, he's gonna look. You need to know how he's gonna look when you have a DN that needs to get a sack because he needs to make his contract number. That's when you're gonna know.
The thing about it, though, Tyson, the good thing about it, and we always talk crazy about this organization. Not me and you, but them. They love to talk crazy about this organization, though. But we covered our asses on that one.
Yeah, we did.
If Travis ain't good to go, we got guys that can step right in and play.
And and that's called a contingency plan. Something we didn't have in that Atlanta game.
Yeah. They want you to talk, Mark. One of your
I was gonna say, I'm just letting y'all just go ahead and go here on it, but we're good. I'm just like I said, it's nice letting somebody else just kind of show something.
Somebody in your chat box say we want Mark to talk. Who the hell is these people?
And you guys get me 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day, as Bosh always says. So it's cool to let somebody else speak and take some of the oxygen out the room. But I will say one thing though that to your point of how Cowboys fans are. Literally, probably one of the best games I think I've ever seen live, which was the Cowboys-Eagles game. That's when I met you, Tyson, out there in Dallas. We're sitting there watching that fourth quarter. Dak had 2 interceptions in the game and everything else. But that fourth quarter, we ended up manning up, scoring, tying the game up, going in overtime, not letting them have the ball. Here it is, boom. We done beat the Super Bowl champions now 2 times. We're taking the lead in the division. And I had the people behind me, and they're like, I don't know about Dak. We need to replace him. And I'm just like, he just threw for 455 yards and 3 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm just like, it had to come from behind to do this. I've seen Tony Romo throw for 503 yards, which was great, but we lost the game.
Yeah, because of 1 interception, though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always used that.
I know, but you're missing, nobody said, we need to replace Tony Romo. He threw the
Hey, can I
think
go ahead, Voss.
Something I think that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be long, Tyson. I think one day the Dak we see in the fourth quarter, that's gonna be all quarter Dak.
Yep.
Now I understand if Dak out here throwing 2 interceptions and he ain't winning, he just losing all the games and he flopping around out there. And
Right.
like this is only a conversation. This is only a debate because Dak wins ball games because Dak is successful. That's the only reason it's even a conversation. You know what I mean? So at some point, Dak is gonna get the shoulder up part of the game, and that fourth quarter thing we see, we gonna see it in the first, second, and third. Man, people just gotta be patient, and they don't want to be that. Go ahead.
I think.
But you know what? I think the thing that's going to change that, though, I think the play calling is going to be different. Because when you look at that fourth quarter, part of the reason why that fourth quarter is great is when they get into no huddle and Dak is calling more of his plays and stuff. I don't believe he believed in that offense that was being called. You know, we saw that, we heard that from Amari Cooper, like, why are we running the same damn thing? Let's go with the go route. You know, and it's like, we got to run what's called.
Yeah.
And so if players don't believe in that stuff, and you can tell by the body language that he got put in the doghouse and only had 3 targets the next week, you know, a guy you just gave up a number 1 pick because Scott Linehan was trying to say, I'm the head motherfucker in charge. You know that the players don't believe in it. If you don't believe in that shit, the shit ain't going to happen. And I think that Kellen Moore, for no other reason, that these players are actually believing and buying in and saying, you know what, he'll at least listen to us and try and incorporate what we see on the field as well. And that alone, that mentality is going to give them an edge that they did not have last year.
Yeah, and it also, you just got to kind of adapt and understand who we are as a team. Like, we are a run-based team with a quarterback-centric fan base. So we are like totally in opposite of each other. Like honestly, keep it real. We shouldn't even be talking about Dak this much because Dak is not really the focal point of our offense. The focal point of our offense is handing the ball to 2-1 and executing on that offensive line. Like, that is the focal point of our team, and that is always going to be the focal point of our team. Think about this. That was before Dak. Why? That was before Tony. Why? That was before Troy Aikman. That was before actually, I think Roger and Tony started it. Tony Dorsett, I think they started it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, we 4 generations into this. So it's like, we got to really kind of take our centric off of Dak anyway. And if Dak can just meet the requirements, like, what I need from Dak, honestly, is to protect the ball. Honestly, as long as he can, for the most part, protect the ball, the Dallas Cowboys going to be fine in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, his decision-making, you know, I'm not going to say, I hate judging Tony Romo and Dak because Tony Romo threw the ball more times, so that means he has more opportunity to throw interceptions. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you like this, Tony Romo never had a running back effectively as Zeke. So I'm telling like this, if Tony Romo had Zeke, Tony Romo probably wouldn't have been throwing the ball 40 times. Tony Romo.
Hold on. He had Zeke plus in 2014.
No, he had DeMarco. No. He had DeMarco Murray. That's not Zeke. I don't give a damn how many yards DeMarco Murray had in 2014. Because think about, hold on. Let me say.
Wait, no, hold on. You guys.
I'm just saying like this. On fourth and one, with your season on the line, what did we do?
Pass the ball.
Thank you. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing else. There's nothing else. You had the number 1 rusher in the league behind you in the play on the field,
and the best
and we threw the ball.
And he fumbled that motherfucker.
The play. Thank you. That's not Zeke.
My point being is in 2014 though, Tony Romo. This is what's funny because everybody talks about we don't have a 4,000 or 5,000 yard passer. Tony Romo only threw for 3,700 yards because we had a running game. That's when the Cowboys were most effective. If you look at Drew Brees had like 5 seasons or 4 seasons where he was over 5,000 yards. And he was 3 of those years 7 and 9 because you don't want to be throwing that ball. You know, we had years where Tony Romo was throwing over 4,000 yards because we didn't have a running game. You want to be balanced. You don't want to be throwing 4,000 and 5,000 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If Tony Romo would have had Zeke, he would have.
Has ruined the game because everybody thinks, well, you're not throwing 4,000 yards. Okay, so Kirk Cousins threw for 4,000 yards. What the fuck did it do for him? What did it do for him?
And he has
making
two,
points,
and he has two wide receivers making $15 and $16 million. But
Right.
that's what I was saying. If Tony and think about this, they drafted Zeke for Tony Romo because they were trying to cut back on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. When you throw the ball more, you give the opposite team more opportunities to take the ball. That's just realistic. You know what I'm saying?
You also extend the game because incomplete passes.
But why would I want to extend it? Why would I want to extend it if I can just run it and shorten it out and go home? Why want to stay? Why I want to stay longer?
And see, that was one of the failings of our Dallas Cowboys team. We would get a lead up against the Green Bay Packers, and we're still throwing the ball like we're behind. And instead of taking off 4 or 5 minutes off the clock, even if it was a 3 and out, we're doing 3 and outs. We're taking off 25 seconds of the clock and putting the ball, giving the other team more clock.
Yep.
And that has been the history of the Cowboys. I can think of twice against the Lions where we're up by 21 points and lose the damn game because we don't know how to close out a game. But that's what a running back does, and having this offense that is a ball control offense. You want to have the short pass.
But now, Mark, don't even lie though. What about that faction of Cowboy fans that say, "Oh, we're way too conservative. We're playing not to lose, and we're not playing to win"? What about that faction? I can't say.
Second most victories behind New England. All we got to do is start playing and showing up and staying healthy and playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, but you don't want to go into a season. You're not going into a season saying that you want to have 7 comeback wins. You're not going into the season saying that. You know what I'm saying? That so that's not a. I mean, that's why I say that's like paying your mortgage on a lottery ticket. Like you don't. But
it's a win.
It is a win, but that's not how you're not going into a game saying, "Yo, Damian Lillard, with 3 seconds off on the clock, I want you to take a step drop and hit it right in George's face, and we're gonna send him home and then do this." You're not. That's not what you're doing. You're thinking you're gonna execute.
I tell you what.
And with execution, you'll get where you're supposed to be.
Hold on. We had the tale of 2 seasons last year. We had the first 8 games at 3 and 5 before Amari Cooper and with Paul Alexander. Once we changed back to getting away from that zone blocking scheme and going back to a power blocking scheme, that helped that offensive line. Right or wrong, Bob?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of fight for Paul Alexander because my thing is this: we gave up the most sacks we ever gave up in a game in 2018 under the coach that was supposed to fix the offensive line. I know that's a lot, but the worst game that we had last year was the Saints, and Alexander was at home eating chicken somewhere, doing something.
Yeah,
but Colombo was on the sideline.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll give you that one. All right. But I still believe that the offensive line got better. Okay, we also had more injuries on top of it as well. But I believe that offensive line was playing better as the year went on after we got rid of Paul Alexander.
I think Dak was getting the ball out faster than Amari Cooper. That's what I think it was. I think it was 100% Amari Cooper.
If we had just a couple of breaks, we would have had a totally different season. Even as bad as our team was that first 8 games, against the Texans, we decided to punt on 4th down. Remember that?
Yeah.
Overtime? If we had picked up that first down on 4th down, we would have won that game. If we won that game, all of a sudden our season would have looked a lot different having the next extra victory, right?
Yeah.
Washington Redskin game, we got hosed by that call where they said we moved the snap. We hadn't gotten that couple yards put back. I guarantee we would have won that game. And I'm trying to think of the other game that we could have won that was just kind of like there. If we hadn't started out the season as slow as we did, because again, Carolina, we only scored 8 points because Lord knows, I think Dak only had 4 series in all of preseason with a whole new cast of characters. If we start out a little bit better, that season all of a sudden you're saying 13 and 3, home field advantage.
Yeah, but all those are decisions that someone has to make, and they all have to be the right decision. So it's like, that's why I say, like, it's easier than just saying that, if these people did this, because all those are critical decisions that have to be made the right decision. But that's why I'm saying, like, I don't necessarily think I'm sorry, like, I don't believe the offensive line got better after we fired the coach, because, to be honest with you, we actually gave up 2 more sacks. If you split it in half, because we actually gave up 2 more sacks. Now, of course, I know we played more games because it was the playoffs, but whatever.
Playing better
You know what I'm saying?
competition, too. You had the same, you had playoff teams that you were playing.
See, Tyson, what happened is, bro.
I think he just got the ball out faster than Amari Cooper. That's what I think.
See, Tyson, what happens is people associate wins with like whole team success. So when we ran out guys like Suafilo and Fleming, we won games. So in their mind, they're like, oh, our offensive line doing better because we won
skills.
times and hitting all that. Cause like, look, man, I watch film every week, man. I don't even want to keep saying that, man. But Xavier Philo was trash, and he was getting blown up just like Connor Williams was. You know what I mean? His feet were terrible. His hands was worse. Cam Fleming didn't engage with nobody. He just got to put shoulders on people. That wasn't good offensive line play. When guys would get hurt, Redmond came in. I don't even want Redmond in Texas anymore. I don't even want Adam Redmond playing for Houston. Go play somewhere far away from us. I don't want that on my team anymore. But we had to build this thing differently, man. We couldn't keep winning with Su'a-Filo. We couldn't keep winning with Cameron Flynn. We had to get better guys in there, man. And I think that's going to be one of the bigger differences moving on next year.
And I mean, that Saints.
We've got more depth than we've had in a long time.
Hey, and it's the same thing like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how people like to say what ifs, but you got to put those what ifs on some of those wins too. Like, what if Jalen Smith doesn't fly over and hit freaking Kamara on a third down in the helmet to helmet? And what if the referee calls that flag? Then guess what? We lose that Saints game, and everybody's saying, well, damn, they gave up 6 sacks. I know, but I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm just saying.
We can't be talking about the wins now, Tyson. That's some damn good refereeing right there.
But you get what I'm saying? Though? Because this is my thing. The Saints game I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I promise you, if we lose that Saints game, you look at it the exact same way you look at that Atlanta game. Because the exact same thing happened in that Atlanta game from 2017, where it wasn't one person. But they teed off on Dak that whole Saints game. Like, theoretically, Dak could have probably got sacked 10 times that game. He could have, if Zeke literally lawn chaired. I don't know, lawn chairs when you hit somebody and they lawn chair. Zeke literally lawn chaired 2 people to save him on 2 sacks.
We've been on here going on 2 hours now. I'm going to give you the final word because, Tyson, you said about a half hour ago you had 10 minutes. So
I know.
Give me the final thoughts and tell everybody where to find you.
Boy, Tyson get to run this mouth, boy. Tyson can't leave, man. Tyson got to get his points out, man. I know how this works.
Hey, man, you already know what it is, man. I appreciate everybody for showing love over on Dallas Cowboys Scouting. Hey, shout out to the OG, man. I appreciate you, man. And shout out for Vach, man. Hey, man, and hit them Patreons. Shoot, man, I'm going to tell you, man, this dude on the guy on the far right with the hat, man. Shoot, I looked at what he did, and I had to support, man. So if I'm supporting, y'all need to make sure y'all support too, man, because it's all about the information, man. So I appreciate everybody for having me on, man.
Well, let me thank all your fans that are out there on Facebook and everything else. I appreciate them tuning in. Tell them to check out the Joe Booth Sports Report. We're all Cowboys family and stuff. You may not like, one person out here, but there are so many people that are out here working hard, bringing you the best content. Forget the 4-letter nation network and stuff. Check out my man over here. So, Vosh, what you got to say, man?
Tony Pollard by the river.
So we up out of there, man. So, hey, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man, and watching the show with your boy. That was a very, very engaging show. Damn near 2 hours. I absolutely loved it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in on Sunday. We'll have another show kicking off, man. Real know what it is. Hey, shout out to everybody on Cowboys Experience that's watching in. Shout out to everybody on Boss Cowboy Sports watching. Shout out to everybody that's on America's Oats official group. Shout out to everybody on there. And shout out to everybody that's on YouTube watching right now, Dallas Cowboys Scouting. Hey, I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for rocking with this journey. You already know what it is. Never look down. Why? Why should you never look down? I'm going to tell you why, because the star's up. That's why.